I encountered two very sad stories last summer. Thank you for hopping over here to our side of the YouTube. This is the Immigrant Experience podcast, and I wanted to pop on here and share a few updates with you today. One of which includes a reminder that when you are traveling abroad, it's so important as an American citizen for you to register with the local U.S. embassy or consulate wherever you are in whichever country you're going. You can find us at travel.state.gov. I encountered two very sad stories last summer, and I'm just getting around to recording this video. One young lady traveled abroad, wanted to celebrate her 25th birthday, and she bought a ticket and went to Turkey. And sadly, that trip did not go well. I'm still trying to figure out all of the full details. I don't know if she even remembers, but it's very private and sensitive. But what I know is getting a call from a friend to say a friend of hers daughter traveled to Turkey, and she called within the space of 24 hours of arriving. And she seemed like she's drugged. She doesn't sound like herself. She is having difficulties and she can't really explain what's happened to her. The mother proceeded to book a ticket and left to Turkey to find her daughter, whichever hotel or address that she gave her, wherever she was. Very troubling situation. I then reached out to some former colleagues and try to get them some connection with some assistance from whether it was the consulate or the embassy, whichever was closer to where the daughter was located. And sadly, she had become so violent that the ambulance or the hotel folks couldn't get into her room. The ambulance came. They were not able to calm her down to take her to the hospital to figure out what happened to her. They had to call the police and get others involved in order to restrain her and then give her whatever medication they gave her to calm her down so that they then could transport her to the hospital. The mother arrived. Unfortunately, there wasn't very much that the local embassy or consulate could do as far as like sending somebody personally out, because as you can imagine, there are multiple American citizens across the globe who are traveling, and there's only so much that the embassy has resources and personnel to respond to. Perhaps they really wanted someone to send from the embassy to personally come to where they were and help them navigate the local process there. But I think that didn't happen. They were quite disappointed. And so that's one specific and important reason when you are traveling abroad. Please register online and do as much research as you can do about the country that you're going. I later found out that this particular young lady, I don't know how she self-identified. I still have not been able to speak with her, but she's of African ancestry living in the United States. Apparently, this group of women have had challenges and have been abused in Turkey. She wasn't aware. And this was like her first international trip leaving the United States. She went alone. And so my question that I had was, did somebody lure her there? Apparently, she made friends on Facebook and decided that was where she was traveling for her 25th birthday. But sadly, it went very wrong. So this is my caution to you. If you are planning to travel abroad and to explore, make sure you make some connections or travel in groups or with a friend or with a family. It's so unsafe to go abroad by yourself. Another story involved somebody who traveled to another, I want to say Central American country over the summer last year and encountered somebody actually putting I don't know if it was drugs or whatever sort of thing that they put in the person's food and caused them to just start behaving in out of character. Let me put it that way. I know as American citizens, we love to travel. We love to explore people's cultures and to support communities that we have some sort of a connection with. But it's so important when you are traveling abroad, take all the precautions that you can take. Register with the local embassy at travel.state.gov, letting them know you are in country as an American citizen. And if there's any reason for an evacuation or any sort of natural disasters, at least they know that you're on record to have entered the country and they can find you in emergencies. But please exercise extreme caution when you're traveling to certain parts of the world. Travel.state.gov or perhaps other online resources. I can't necessarily give you a list right now. However, do as much research as you can. I don't know if people are posting things on Reddit or other social media platforms. I just wish this other young lady who went to Turkey did some more research. It was when I spoke to some former colleagues, they kind of gave me some insight about some of the reports of stories that women have been sharing about their experiences in this particular country. So again, folks, this is a place where we talk about the immigrant experience, right? And it's not only including immigrants coming into the US, but it also includes American citizens traveling to other countries, which you are going to then be considered an immigrant or a visitor, an international student. You will then be in that same bracket that many of us find ourselves after we move to the United States. So please, again, exercise extreme caution when you're traveling to certain places around the world where women's rights are not as protected as they are here in the United States. And make sure that you are protecting yourself, you're traveling with others, you find out as much as you can about social issues on the ground. Know who you're meeting with. It's very heartbreaking. So the story, the young lady having to be placed under monitoring, psychological monitoring. I don't know if they even found out like what happened, who drugged her, or what did they give to her. But she was seriously harmed, and the mother ended up getting on a plane. They gave her medication to calm her, and they got on a flight all the way back to the US, and that was multiple hours, if you can imagine. And the worry of that parent trying to figure out what happened to my daughter. And I think she's an only child. But she was seriously harmed. And so please, when you're going abroad, again, extreme caution to certain places around the world. But do your homework and also register with travel.state.gov. Protect yourself, please, especially ladies, when you travel abroad. Thanks again for popping in here on the channel, The Immigrant Experience in America, where we amplify and humanize the experiences of immigrants living in the US and around the world. Welcome back sometimes, and remember to like and subscribe. This helps our channel to grow and get the word out to others out there who might be looking for resources such as this. Thank you for joining.